Why karate sucks for self-defense. Real quick, my name is Joel Pollard. I've been doing martial arts for many years and I've used it, it works. And today I'm going to talk about why karate specifically sucks for self-defense. And newsflash, it does. Now, obviously, in this video, if you do karate, you'll be triggered. Okay, I don't care. But more importantly, I will speak in general terms, as in most karate schools, most karate people do this stuff, right? Of course, there are some karate schools that are really good, that work and that are awesome. That's good. But I'm talking about the common school, what you're most likely going to come across. That's what we're addressing today. The first point I'm going to talk about is that katas are useless. Forms are useless. And I really specifically mean for the beginner. You should not be teaching a beginner, somebody that's new to karate, forms. They shouldn't be coming in on the first day and learn the first form, the white belt form. Because if you're talking about self-defense, all the things you learn in the form as beginner are bad habits that you should not be training and learning when you're trying to learn how to defend yourself. Because most people that learn karate is how to defend themselves. So that's the first thing. So I don't want to hear I do it for fun. Okay, yes. Most people do it to defend themselves, how to fight. Realistically, they get bullied. They want to stop getting bullied. So that's what we're going to talk about. In this, they go to their first karate class and they're learning to block like this. Kia and step this way. Kia and step this way. All those are terrible habits. That for one, in real life, you're not going to punch like this. For two, in real life, you're not going to block like this. For three, in real life, you're not going to step. You're not going to do this footwork that's just this one block, choppy footwork. You're not going to do any of that. Those are bad habits to teach somebody. That when somebody new does come in, you should teach them, okay, how to punch, how to kick. In a stance, or with their hands down, or their hands up, like you would normally have them. Not in something manufactured, odd movements that are not going to work, that you don't ever see in real life. They should be learning how to punch, how to kick in an actual stance, with their hands up, how to disengage, how to talk to someone, how to try to calm somebody down, to not fight. They should be learning things that they could take today and use on somebody if they needed to, right? How to punch and kick with their hands up, stuff that's actually practical. How to hit the bag, how to punch and hit mitts. Things that a beginner should learn and see that would actually benefit them. Maybe even watch spar, or maybe light spar a little bit to see how it feels fighting someone that's trying to win. Because that's what fighting is. Fighting is not you by yourself. It's not hitting with your friend and y'all having fun. It's the other guy in front of you wants to hurt you really bad. And he wants to hurt you just as much as you want to win. That's what real life violence is. But the karate doesn't teach you about that. It teaches you how to do forms, it teaches you how to break boards, it teaches you how to punch like this, and it teaches you stuff that a lot of stuff doesn't really matter. That's not practically applicable. And it's something you definitely don't see in real life violence or real fights, or just a lot of it is incorrect and wrong. The movement, most fights and most self-defense situations are movement. There's a lot of chaotic movement involved. And that the footwork you learn, the step here, the front stance here, the bow stance, all that stuff, you're not going to be able to do that movement when you have somebody 100 pounds heavier than you, bigger than you, stronger than you, sprinting at you, throwing punches. Because that's what fighting looks like a lot of the time. You have guys, they just rush in with punches, and it works, and it's effective. But what do you do when a guy runs at you full speed, throwing punches, and he's bigger than you? Well, if you punch him in the chest, it's not going to hurt him. He has adrenaline, he's angry at you, he's mad. He's not going to care you hit him. Because his goal is to knock you out. So with that, the forms you're learning is not going to be applicable to someone that's a beginner. Now, if you're an advanced black belt second degree and you want to train by yourself, well, now you can talk about forms and that it's good, and you can tweak them and stuff to make them good. But for a beginner that's learning, he needs to know how to punch, how to have his hands up, what's a front kick, how to use a front kick, how to do leg kicks. He should learn basic stuff that he could take tomorrow and use to protect himself. But karate people don't do that nowadays. They're so focused on preserving the tradition and all that stuff that they get beat up in real life. And it's sad, you see a lot of black belts, taekwondo, karate, they get beat up in real life because a lot of the stuff they're training is not applicable And also, they don't know how to apply it in real life. That's the other thing. They don't know how. To think that blocks like this, you do it all the time in forms. So that's something I don't want to hear, oh, well, blocks, blah, blah. Most karate people do these blocking in forms. And most karate people think that they will use this block in real life when someone punches at them. Now, the reality is that, one, you're not fast enough. When the guy's in front of your face and he swings at you, you're not going to have time to do this block. But two, he's going to keep punching you. So in the karate forms, you learn to block, hold, punch, block, hold. You learn to block, on the first beat and in one, and then two. But in real life, when the guy's running at you or when he's swinging at you, he's throwing multiple punches. He's not stopping. That in the demonstrations, you'll see the karate guy who hit, and the other guy who hit. But in reality, the aggressor is just going to keep attacking you until you're on the ground. He's just going to keep throwing punches and running at you. He's going to keep swinging with his head down. With that, you're not going to have an opening to stop and punch. You got to be overwhelmed. That's the biggest thing. I see so many martial artists in real situations or real life to get overwhelmed because that's what fighting is. The bigger, stronger aggressor wants to hurt you and is just going to overwhelm you with attacks. He's going to sneak attack you and you're not expecting it. That's realistic. But karate guys, they don't talk about that. They don't go over that. They don't watch videos on that. They practice a lot of stuff just to preserve the tradition. The tradition of an art made hundreds of years ago, Japan, Okinawa, Asia, which a lot of stuff, it's not made for the modern day application of now 2026. It's not made for that. That's the biggest thing. A lot of the techniques don't work against a bigger, stronger aggressor. That's the really what I always specify. That a good martial artist should teach you how to defend yourself or fight a bigger, stronger aggressor. Sure, you could hope the guy is smaller than you, tinier than you, weaker than you. But chances are, bullies, jocks, whatever you want to call them, they're big and they're strong and they're trying to be confident. With that, they probably be strong than you. They probably go to the gym. They lift weights. They wrestle. Whatever. Boxer. It's how to use stuff that works against a bigger, stronger aggressor. And so with that, this blocking, it's not going to work. The punching, it's not like that. It's not going to work. The footwork, it's not going to work. A lot of that's just not going to work when the guy's running at you with punches. That karate, they don't actually break down and teach what a real violent encounter looks like and the things you could or can do to successfully get out of this. That the karate, it doesn't equip its practitioners for a real life encounter, a violent encounter against somebody. That you can see on YouTube. You can see very dramatic, traumatic, crazy stuff on YouTube, but that's what real life violence is when someone's trying to mug you and they're fighting you and they're whatever. It's chaotic, it's random, it's dangerous, it's nasty, it's ugly. But karate is the very opposite of that. It has none of those elements, and it doesn't prepare you for that. You know, what to do when someone's grabbing you and yelling you in your face. Yet again, wrist locks are cool. Wrist locks and throws are really cool stuff, and it looks good and all that stuff. But when the guy has 100 pounds on you, and he's drunk, and he's angry, me trying to go for this wrist lock, it's not going to work. I've tried a lot of them. Some work, but when they are very angry and very tensed, and I try to go for this movement, A, it's not going to work, or B, it's going to hit you in the face. Because a lot of times when they grab you, they're going to ready to hit, or they're getting ready to pull something out. Or they are just yelling at you and trying to get your attention. But yet again, they don't show you and teach you that and actually how to work and find a way to get out of this, or how to diffuse the threat. That in most times, if someone grabs you, hitting them is a much better option. Hitting them in the face, the eye, the throat, is much better than trying to go to break the grip. And no. If the guy's double grabbing you hard, rather than doing the hit, or rather than doing that, if he's double grabbing you, poke him in the eye gouge him. If both his hands are stuck and you just eye gouge him, he's gonna let go. Stuff like that. It's very simple, very, very simple. It's very practical, and it's something you could take and do tomorrow. but they don't teach this stuff because it's not the tradition. They want to preserve the Okinawan heritage and all this stuff, but yet it doesn't work if you don't know how to apply the Okinawan heritage and stuff, which most do not. That's the point. That real life violence, you don't know if the guy has a gun, you don't know if he has a weapon, you don't know if he has friends, you don't know his training. So you could think, okay, I'm gonna do a out block and reverse punch, and in reality, that dude's a boxer. And I don't mean like he went to a boxing gym once. I mean like he has 2 amateur fights. He knows how to box. So then when you go up, because you don't know this guy, you don't know him, you go up and he's yelling at you and you try to reverse punch him and he laughs at that punch and he stuffs you with a 1-2 when you're on the ground now. Now what? Real life, you don't know what the guy has. You don't know his training. That's a big thing. A lot of guys do martial arts. A lot of guys watch UFC. They watch boxing. They know a thing or two. Or they've been in real fights. So that's the thing. You don't know. A lot of guys they assume he has no level of training. He's a dumb oat, and he's just gonna throw a big old cowboy punch, and I'm a block and do this and that, right? But when he's a wrestler, a D1 wrestler, and he double legs you so fast you don't even know what's happening. You're already on the ground now. Now try to use your karate. But that's the thing. You don't know how good the person is. And that you just could stumble across a bully that's a really good fighter. And, sorry, but when you're learning this stuff that's not applicable, you're gonna be on the ground, it's not gonna be looking good. That's the other thing. They don't really talk about what it looks like in real life, what you could expect, how most fights start, what's the most common attack they're gonna do, and how to end the fight as quickly as possible. Because that's what you should be learning. Simple and direct. How to end the fight quick and get out of there. That's all self-defense is. How to end it fast and get out of there. If from the ground, how to end it fast, do stuff, whatever, to get out of there. And when you start learning this stuff, you learn a lot of concepts that work against anybody. No matter if you're a boxer, wrestler, UFC, doesn't matter. That you learn concepts and principles that'll work against anybody, very quick and very simple, so you can go about your day. But most places don't teach this. If you like what you're hearing in this video, then please consider subscribing and liking the video, as both of those are free and they're going to help this channel to grow and to reach more people. If you actually want to learn more martial arts and actually learn more in-depth concepts and in-depth techniques that you're not going to see anywhere else, then go in the description of this video where I have a full in-depth course and community only for $10 a month. $10 a month, anyone can afford it, but there you're gonna be able to train and work with me personally, but also have access to several courses that I've made and other martial artists have made to help martial artists get better, to help them learn the things they want to learn, and especially if you're interested in learning stuff like Jeet Kune, then it's all gonna be in there. In that course, only $10 a month, and that is the only way to support me if you like what I'm doing. But without the way, we're going to keep getting into the video. Most of the karate stuff you learn in the beginning is not simple and direct. It's not simple. That in real life, you're going to have adrenaline, you're going to be scared, you're going to be angry, the guy's going to be in front of you, you're going to be thinking, you're going to be tunnel vision, you're not going to... So much is happening. So many physiological things in your body are happening, you're not going to think about the 3 segments in your form. And that in reality, you need something simple, quick. You don't need to think about, no, you need to have something you already know how to do, you don't have to think about, and just move and and just perform it. Because in real life, if it's not simple, it's going to be very, 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 very hard to pull off. Now, if you're like a master, doing it for 10 plus years, yes, you can get away with fancy techniques or more advanced stuff, compound movements. But yeah, getting through the beginner or the intermediate and then you get in a real life situation, you're not going to be able to do the fancy stuff. You're not going to be able to do cool moves. You're going to do what you know how to do. For instance, you can look at any good martial artist, any good black belt in karate, whatever, right? But if you see a video of them hard sparring, or if you watch them hard spar, like really sparring but going at it hard, they don't do a lot of the fancy techniques and the cool stuff. They don't. They do the easy techniques they know how to do. Jab, cross, front kick, roundhouse, that's it. spinning back kick if they're really good. They don't do a lot of the fancy techniques because when you're in a real stressful environment, you can't think. It takes too long, one, until you really can't think of anything to do because the stress and the fear and it's hard to think. So you need to resort back on something that's simple and direct. Something that's very easy to do. That's why I mentioned earlier, someone grabs you. If it's both hands, easy, just hit them. Eye gouge them. Easy thing. You just know it's not a specific technique for each movement, but a general rule of thumb that if someone grabs you, you want to attack them. You want to hit them now because if they grabbed you, now they can go for a knife, now they can go for a gun, now they can just start hitting you. That's the big thing. They grab you here so I can hit you now, you can't run away. So now you're dealing with this punch coming at your face multiple times, but also this hand. If you don't get rid of this hand, well, I still have a hold of you, I can still punch you, we can still go on the ground, we can still do stuff. So that's what I mean by concepts and principles. Stuff like intercepting, attacking the person if they grab you. That's something you can have and know. It doesn't have to be a specified technique, but it's just a rule of thumb you have in your mind. That will get you further than learning, okay, he grabs here, I get here, and I get here, and I hit here, and I hit here. You're not going to do those 5-step movements. I'm telling you, you're not. Then two, yet again, most things is movement based. So he's pushing you against the wall, he's pulling me here, okay, now my footwork's all jacked up. It's going to be very, very hard to do unless you're just a master and just really good at this stuff. But that's one of the biggest things, that this karate, it lacks the modern day approach. The modern day approach of, we're in 2026, a lot of this stuff is hundreds of years, if not thousands of years old, and it's still good and it still works. But most guys don't know how to apply it in today's standard. The modern day approach, what fights really look like, what robberies and engagements really look like, how to de-escalate, right? I've not seen a lot of karate places talk about that, how to actually de-escalate. Because that's what you're going to be doing most of the time is de-escalating, talk, hey, I don't want to fight, hey, I'm sorry, you're trying to apologize, trying to talk, trying to create distance. That's most times, right? Because you're not trying to fight, obviously. So how to do that? And then once de-escalation is not working, now where the gears should be shifting, what you should be looking for now. That's what it should be. But karate doesn't do that because they don't talk about that. Most violent encounters, engagement are going to be from you trying to de-escalate because you don't want to fight. So by nature, a lot of the moves should be geared toward you're talking to the guy, you're de-escalating with your hands up, you're talking. It should be how to do stuff from this movement of I do not want to fight. How to do a kick from here. Not how to do a kick from here, but how to do a kick, how I'm going to be standing with my hands down, or my hands, I'm talking with my hands up, I'm talking with my hands. It lacks the modern approach. When's the last time you've seen a karate place do role playing where they have an attacker and then they have a student and the student is trying to de-escalate, hey, I don't want to fight, I'm sorry, sir, bag up, blah, 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 blah. And then from that, attack and do something because that's realistic. From that, front kick or a kick to the knee or hit in the face. That's what they should be doing. Because that is realistic. That is how you're going to use your stuff in the modern day. Unless you're just picking fights. In real life, you're not going to be you're not going to be getting in a stance. You're not. Because you don't want to fight. So if you don't want to fight, you're going to be trying to de-escalate. And if you're trying to de-escalate, you're not going to be getting in a let's fight. Or sweep. You're not. So a lot of your stuff should be geared toward not being in the stance. How to do stuff when you're not like this. That's a very important thing that I train and teach a lot. I do a lot because it works. I've used it. Guys I train used it. Doing stuff not in a stance because that's realistic. That I'm not going to be just fighting random guys on the street like that. I'm going to be trying to de-escalate and going that route. If you're talking about, hey, I don't want to fight, and he pulls out a knife, what to do now, right? And that, yes, most martial arts say run. Most karate guys will say, we train all this stuff, it's good, but real life guys, you want to run away, you want to get away, yada, yada, we get it, yeah. What they don't talk about is that not every instance you can run away. They don't explain that. Yes, running away is important, you should do it, yes, of course. Like, I do want to stress that, yes. There are many times that you cannot run away. You're with your family, with your son, your daughter, your girlfriend. You're with somebody. You can't run away now. Because now if I run away, my kid's there. He's going to get beat up and mugged. I mean, I can't do that now. Right? Let's say the guy's trying to fight me and we're in a room, we're in a class, we're in a room somewhere, and he is blocking the exit. By that, I mean, if the camera, or if you guys, if you're the exit door and the bad guy is in front of me, I can't run away. I can't run away. He's in the way. They don't talk about that, but that's realistic. Yet again, too, if the guy's aggressive, he's going to chase you. That's something I don't see a lot of guys. I've seen many videos, knife videos, where real situations where the guy pulls a knife out and the other guy runs and the guy just chases him. That's another thing. They don't talk about that. I saw a video, the guy on the subway, the guys that pull a knife, and they're on the subway, and the guy's running down the subway, and the guy with the knife's just chasing him, and the guy's fast. What do you do in that situation? Now you really have to fight. You have to do something. But nobody, the crowd guys, they don't talk about what happens when you run or you try to run, it doesn't work. That's when martial arts should be used, right? That's when if the guy's running after him, you stop. Maybe a good side kick to the knee, that would work really well, or side kick to the body or front kick, right? But my favorite side, low line side kick to the knee, that's a good one. That's when you use it because he is chasing you, you can't get away. So, again, they should really specify when to actually do this stuff and actually talk about the situations and when you would and when you wouldn't do this stuff. Even if you're at like a bar or something and the guy's right in your face, well, I can't just run away, he's right in my face. It doesn't make sense, but everyone will say, run away, run away, run away, and that's just an easy cop-out. That's like, if I come on here and I show like a really effective knife defense to, what to do if someone does this and how to get out of it. If I teach that, well, in the comments, the first thing they'll say is, that won't work, run away. That won't work, run away. Run away is the best thing. Yes, ops, run away. But when I teach you something or show something, I'm doing it from the standpoint of that you can't run away. That if you're in a room and a guy pulls a knife on you, you're too close to run away. He will chase you. He can stab you. He will run after you. It's not realistic. The runaway really only works if I'm at a park with a lot of open space and then he's 10 feet away from me and pulls a knife and now I can run and have a good enough head start to where I can get away. That's okay. Now we can talk about that, right? But if you're in a building of sorts, like a house, a school, a store, just by that nature, he can chase you. Or if you're in rooms, dorms, anything small space, then yet again, he's too close now. He can stab you, he can still grab you, whatever. So that's a big thing. A lot of karate places, they talk about running away. They talk about how important it is to run away, but they don't talk about how to actually run away. They don't talk about what you actually could face, how to actually think in your mind, is this a good time to run away? Where's the closest exit? If I run, will he follow me? Will he chase me? Because if I run and chase him and I fall down, now it's totally different. If this dude's athletic looking and I run and he catches me because he's fast, now what? But they don't talk about that. Nobody talks about that. But that's practical application in real life 2026. But most karate guys are so obsessed with preserving the arts and traditions that they don't really talk about, okay, how do we use this stuff that the founders made? How do we use it and take it and use this in nowadays setting, time, and it still work? Because it does still work and it can still work, but most schools don't know it. They think they know, but they don't know it. I've asked so many karate guys, whatever, the blocking. How would I use this block in real life? How and why would I use this? I've asked many black belts this and they don't know. That if I were really going to punch them in the face, and I'll tell them, okay, I'm going to punch you in the face. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, but I'm going to hit you in the face and I want you to block this. They can't block it. Because by nature, it's very hard to block. It's way harder to block than you think. If I'm close in the guy's face and the guy is at all fast at all, it's very hard and really close to impossible to block it. And then even if I did block it, he's going to hit me with something else now. It's punches and bunches. And I made a whole video on like blocking and how to use the blocking, what the blocking's actually for, how to use it. But yet again, most karate guys don't know. Like some, they'll say, oh, the blocking's for grabs. It's like, okay, he grabs me, I can block and do a grab, I can do a throw from the block. Some of that's true, but that's still not all blocking. Like some of it is grabs and grappling, sure, okay. But that's like a small, minute case of karate guys. But yet again, schools, they don't teach you this. They don't teach you how to actually use blocking, what the blocking is for. They don't teach that because they don't know. That's the ultimate, what it comes down to, they don't know. If you want to see my video I did on blocking, I'll link it up there real quick. But go watch that because I guarantee you, your karate dojo dude does not know why or how this actually works. I've asked many guys, I don't know. But that's the thing, they're so obsessed with preserving tradition, with getting the forms right, that they can't actually use this. That even the training routines, the training measures of how they train, yet again, it's not going to help someone to defend themselves. That they're teaching the wrong habits, they're teaching wrong habits, bad habits. So that when they get out and the guy's 100 pounds bigger than them, and they're taller than them, they have the reach, and they're angry, and they're going to eat your kick, they're going to eat your punch, and they're going to just keep hitting you in the face. Why that's a problem, then I'm the bad guy. But the reality is, it does not equip people for how to actually go about defending themselves and running away, getting out of the way, or defending themselves and stopping the threat. That's the biggest thing, and stopping the threat against a bigger, stronger aggressor. That in real life, the person's going to be attacking you and running at you and hitting you with something. And that if you don't know what to do in that situation, if you don't know if your stuff works or not, you're in deep, deep doo-doo, for lack of better terms. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and if you went this far, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment down below about anything. I'll go and read it, and I'll give it a like. And without the way, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, keep training, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.